Here's Richie Laryea joining us here on Overdrive. How you doing, Richie?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, thanks for joining us. As a local guy, obviously, you guys aren't having the greatest year. Montreal's not having the greatest year. But what's it been like throughout your career, playing MLS against Montreal, that rivalry? You know the history of the two cities, the two fan bases. How much fun are these matches?
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Obviously, they hit us, we hit them, and these games usually get pretty fiery. I don't think it really matters what type of season the other is having. This is, bragging rights and all the things. So these games, the type of games you want to play. And as a footballer, they're intense. They're good. I like them.
So, Richie, when you're in the midst of a season like this, where the team isn't anywhere near the spot in the standings you'd like to be, like, how do you sort of focus your efforts and sort of build an attack, a team philosophy that still goes out there with some real intent to do some damage against the rival? Yeah,
honestly, I don't think it really does matter what type of season you're having. Like I just said, I think these games just mean a lot more. It means, everything almost in a sense. So, yeah, I don't really think it matters if you're having a great season, a not so great season. These games roll around and, both sides are ready for the game. It's huge. It's a derby game. So it's like your derby games anywhere across the world. It means something. It's very impactful for the city or club, and vice versa for them. So,
with Richie Laryea, so your first stint with Toronto FC, you guys were at a certain level, a very high level, chasing MLS Cups, winning MLS Cups, and you returned February of 24. Where do you see this? Where is this club? I know you're not in management, you're not the one putting the pieces together. But where is this club in terms of taking that next step, in your opinion, to getting back to that kind of golden age of TFC play that we saw a handful of years ago?
Yeah, that's obviously what everyone wants in the building. That's what everyone's striving for. And I think the guys in the front office, Keith, Jason, down to Robin, all these guys together are trying and doing some really good things this past window especially. And I think that's a good sign and telling for what's to come in the future. So I, like everyone else, fans, and more importantly, I think people inside the building, that's what we're wanting. We're wanting to build momentum to be able to, end the season on a very high note. What that high note is, we'll see once the season finishes. But just on obviously an optimistic note and get in, like you said, back to the glory days. I think that is important, but almost, we got to rewrite now history that's been done, and it was great. It was a fantastic time at this club. I think now it's a moment to rewrite history in a different way, but still very good and impactful. So we want to get back to MLS Cup and all these things. So I think, like I said, those three guys I mentioned are doing a pretty good job, and their support staff. And I think the guys at the club and my teammates, myself, I think we're also, it's tough, but have been trucking along and still remaining positive and giving our best. So I think that also is pretty good, in my opinion, for fans to see that guys haven't thrown it in or anything. So, yeah, I think everyone's trying and pushing in the right direction right now. So hopefully those better days are coming very soon.
So, Richie, obviously a ton of excitement, less than a year away from the first World Cup games to be played on Canadian soil. And I know that, there's so much excitement around the men's national team and its potential to be a player at the top of the world stage. And yet you guys didn't have maybe the summer you wanted to at the Gold Cup, and maybe didn't get the results there that, you would have expected. Kind of from inside that team, how do you see things? What's the state of that team, and how do you sort of build some positivity as the World Cup approaches?
Sorry, I lost you there just for a little bit at the end. Can you repeat that little end bit, please? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, how does the men's national team sort of build the positivity as the World Cup approaches, less than a year away?
Yeah, I mean, I think the national team's been in a very good spot now for the last couple of years, honestly. I think since 2019-ish is when it, started moving in a really good direction. I think it's been moving in a great direction since then. There's definitely been some bumps along the way with some of our tournament play and all those things. But, yeah, I think there's a lot for us within the national team to be excited about and a lot for fans to be excited about. We have a leader in Jesse who's pushing boundaries for all of us and is very, very happy about the way we've been getting on. And I think just within ourselves in that group, we have high expectations for ourselves at the World Cup. Making it in 2022 was great and was a really big step forward for our program. But I think we all know that there's bigger steps now that we need to take, especially hosting a World Cup here in our backyard, to make a real impact, I think, around the world of football, not just only in Canada.
With Richie Laryea, have you allowed yourself to even kind of picture what this is going to look like? As a guy who grew up here and a Canadian, like playing for Canada at BMO Field. What on this stage, you've done it obviously for the national team in different matches, but nothing can possibly compete with the World Cup. Like what do you think that build-up's going to be like, and how emotional is that kind of walk out onto the pitch going to feel like?
Yeah, to be completely honest with you, I am a day-to-day guy. I try not to look too far, but this one's been almost damn near impossible, if I'm being honest with you. Like you said, being from here, being a local guy, it's, you see some of the things happening around the city. The fans are super excited, and it's gonna be unreal. I think this is gonna be a massive turning point for soccer in our country. Once we get to host some, hopefully, of the biggest nations in the world come here, and we're able to compete and beat. That's gonna turn heads, turn the attention onto Canada soccer. So yeah, it's I could sit on the phone with you all day and talk about how crazy and how big of a deal it is. But yeah, it is. It's going to be all the things everyone's probably thinking, probably times 10, because it's going to have a huge impact on the city of Toronto and the city of Vancouver. But then just the country in general is going to, for what I hope and think is going to happen, make this game, blow up in a way we haven't seen ever. So yeah, it's exciting. Being able to hopefully be a part of that as well is very exciting. And yeah, I think whoever is called upon to be part of that roster, it's going to be a dream come true. It's kind of like your inner childhood dreams, something like this is, to be able to, one day say you've played, in a World Cup in your backyard. I don't know if there's many people that get to say that around the world. So, yeah, it's going to be crazy.
No kidding. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. We got a long way to go to build up to that, but we're looking forward to it. Toronto, Montreal coming up, and good luck with the rest of the regular season MLS and the build up towards, again, the World Cup next year. And have a great weekend. Appreciate you doing this. Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.